Hello fellow mudders, it's Bruce here, and let's see what we got here. Yeah, every once in a while I just can't resist something that I see on eBay. This one took quite a while to make it from Arizona here to Michigan. Part of it was a delay in mailing it, but a good part of it after that was the Postal Service really felt like giving this package the world tour. I was following it and tracking it, and I saw it make it as far as Cincinnati and then into Michigan. Went to Grand Rapids first, then over to Flint, and then back to Grand Rapids, and then back to Flint, and then eventually they dropped it off in my mailbox. Well, let's see what we got. Alright, we got a box. And let's see what's in there. Luckily it was well packed. This was something that I saw and I said, well, I could use that right away. Heaven knows I really don't want to buy stuff to put on the shelf that I have back there. They said that they were accepting offers, so I made an offer, which they accepted. And so even with the tax and the shipping, came to about $30. When I was looking on eBay, I actually saw, well, between eBay and Facebook's marketplace, I saw 4 of these available. They're from Suydam. Now, if you're, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but if you're familiar with them, you know that they are mainly known for all metal kits that you would solder together. So I've never really, bought any of them. But, I was just building a small house. I said I could use a couple small residences for the project on the layout, and this is a kit that is 3 Old Town homes. So let's take a look at them. Like I said, I can't believe how many of them were up for sale at the same time there. Looking at the package, it looked like this was not metal, and I am not disappointed, it is not. Packages of wood, there's some die-cut walls. It's not laser cut, that's die-cut. This is of a time period well before laser cutting was out. Just looking to see whether there's any dates on it. Yes, there is. There's a date right here, July of 1962. And got some instructions here. We have another set of instructions. And pictures of the 3 houses. Now, let me see if I can zoom in on that so you can see why they look like they might fit the bill. If you saw me build the laser cut little home the other day, put up a video on it, you know that it was fairly small, and these look like they'll fit right in. As a matter of fact, this one on the far right almost looks like the kit I just built. And with variations on a theme, this almost looks very similar, but with an addition on the side, and then the third one looks a bit bigger. But 3 homes for $30 with tax and shipping included look like a pretty darn good deal. Okay, let's take a quick look at the contents of the box. Basically, it looks like it is cardstock walls, with the cardstock having been imprinted with clapboard siding or something similar, and the window and door openings stamped, ready to cut out with a number 11 blade. So here's another wall here. This is board and batten, as is this. Those are probably for those additions off the sides of the structure that we saw. So basically it's going to be a cardstock build. I see a bunch of cutouts here that are either for the floor or for roofing. I'm not sure yet until I read the instructions. More walls. The owner did say that there was one sheet that everything had been poked out from, but everything was here, and indeed it is. Here's the peaked end walls, the side walls, and this is for the peak that you're going to build up in here. So all the cardstock stuff is here. Not that that would have been a real problem anyway. And I can't tell right now. I would imagine most of these packs of wood are for bracing, but you might have some in here that are for porches and things like that. And they did provide roofing material. Probably will not use it. I'll probably use laser cut shingles. And the window and door castings are plastic. They look very much like Campbell windows and doors. A couple metal smoke jacks. And this is interesting. Let me put it on the black here and you can see it. I'll zoom in. This is the glazing for the windows. And you can see that, I think, when I zoom in, that they have pre-painted curtains on the windows. So kind of interesting. So yeah, it'll be fun to dig into a kit that was designed, let's see, 1962. So we're talking about 60 years old. Yeah, going to be interesting. I'll take you along for the ride when I'm ready to do it. Talk to you then. Alrighty, ready to start building one of these houses. One of my modeling friends suggested that you pronounce the manufacturer as Suydam, so I'll go with that for now, unless later corrected. I'm going to start with one of the two smaller houses. They can be built as a little bungalow, similar to that laser arched kit that I had just built, or you can put the addition on, which is provided, and the addition can go on the left side of the house as this one is, or the right side of the house as this one is. So I'm going to start with one of those, and first thing I did was take a photocopy of the back of the plans that came in the kit, because they have the blow-up of the each of the structures, and you are to build the foundation right on top of here. And I did not want to do that on the original, so I made a photocopy and I can put this away for posterity. And so here's my copies. Here's the parts list on this one, and I can just build right on this foundation here. So these were designed initially that the cardstock for the walls was colored. One, this color brown for the one of the small houses, and the other small house is green, and therefore you were not, you did not have to paint them. So I'm going to go with that. So right now I'm just collecting all the pieces. I haven't sorted through the strip wood yet, nor the packages to build the porches and so forth, and the roofs. They're all here yet. I haven't opened those. But I am, and these are the floors. Floor for the main structure and floor for the addition, which we will put off on one of these sides. So I'll just put those aside right now, but those are the floors. I sorted through the windows and doors according to the plans and got the right doors and windows out. One a door has windows in it. The other one is a panel door with no windows. 3 of the larger window castings, 3 of the smaller ones. And all I've done so far is cut off the casting nibs with a single edge blade, and then went over and finished up filing off any casting nibs with a little bastard file, metal bastard file, and those are ready then to be painted. So I'll just get them out of the way for now. And there's 2 smoke jacks that go, one on the main part of the roof and one on the addition, and they have big casting blocks on it that I will cut off with nippers and then file. Haven't done that yet. So those are for this structure. And I've started to cut out the walls for the addition, which is a board and batten addition. These, as I said initially, were die cut, which means just a big stamping die comes down from the front, I guess, and gets almost all the way through the cardstock. So you have to come in with a hobby knife and a number 11 blade and cut out around the outside and then cut out the windows that have been die stamped. And as I have mentioned in other videos, cardstock can be sanded, and I just sanded up any nibs that were left from cutting it off out of the carrier. And you can get inside those windows with smaller sanding sticks and file that too. Actually, I use this one, which is a better size. And now you can see that one of these windows will fit into that opening, and there's enough room there that you can adjust it a little bit to get it parallel and perpendicular, and that's what I'm working on now. Let me just give you an idea of how you cut these out, and you certainly don't want to watch me painfully do this on every wall, but I go down the die cut stamping here, and I feel the resistance of a nib in the middle, down through there, and along the bottom. Again, work on a cutting mat. I think I'm basically through, yeah. So there's one of the other side walls of the addition, and I just go over it with my larger sanding stick. Now, I can feel on the rear of this, around the edge, from this stamp coming down, it has pushed some cardboard into a little ridge around all 4 sides of this wall. So I'll just, this is the inside now, so I'll just go over it and get rid of that stamping ridge. And once more, just clean up the sides. And it's feeling pretty good, and now I have to cut out the window. And that window has also been stamped. And I will just follow it down. I don't go all the way along the length of the window here. I go about 3/4 of the way, turn it around, start at the corner and come back. And now on the sides. This side. Now I don't see the line across the top too well from this side, so I'm going to come around the back, and I can see it better here, so I'll follow it here. Just make sure I get the corners good. But don't forget, this is 1962 kit making. And compared to today's laser cut where all these windows would be cut out for you. And there it goes. And it's still attached a little bit. Let me come in with my razor blade and just slice it instead of ripping it. And just sand that window opening. And let's see how a window fits in that. Again, fits fine. And there's 2 walls done. And now I'm just going to continue cutting the rest of these walls out. Once I did that, I'll go out in the garage and spray paint a primer on all the plastic parts and on these smoke jacks after I clean them up. Then start sorting through the wood and get the wood I need for bracing and the porch and the corner posts and so forth. So talk to you again soon. Okay, that's one evening of work. I try to put in about an hour, hour and a half after dinner before I sit down with my wife and watch a little TV. So the walls are cut out for one of the little houses with its addition. The window and door openings are cut out and cleaned up. The windows and doors have been test fit. If you'll notice, the doors extend below the wall. I believe that's okay. If it's not, I can lengthen those door openings, but I think when I read how the rest of everything goes together, that was anticipated. So yeah, there we are. Now I'll dig into the pieces to build the foundation and the porch and corner posts and bracing and so forth, and that'll probably be tomorrow evening's work. Okay, talk to you again. So I'm back to working on the Suydam house, and I've added the windows and painted the trim in the doors and so forth. And there you see the window with the pre-painted curtains and stuff on it, and coming out very nice. And I've added the corner trim on here, and the corner trim on these uses a Z-shaped piece of wood, and I think you can see that Z-shaping there. And if you've never used these, I just want to talk about them for a minute. They're really kind of an old school way of assembling the 4 walls of a structure, but very, very effective, because if you can see this, maybe I will have to zoom in here just a little bit. Let's just see here. If you can see here on the end, one of these, this one here that's on the bottom right now, is a larger piece than this one here that's sticking out. The one that's larger is really inside the structure and adds as bracing. The one on the outside is what you see here on this wall, coming just a little proud of the rest of the wall, sticking out just a little bit. That looks like the corner trim, and it will on this side too. When you add your wall to this side, it will once again look like the corner trim. So it's a gluing post. The larger piece goes in the middle. You'll know whether you have it right or not, because when you test fit it, what is next to the wall itself should be almost flush, just sticking out a little bit. So you glue them on a little bit oversized, and once they're dry, you lay it down on your cutting pad like that, and you come in with your razor blade and just trim down the corner post to give you the same slope as the roof. So they're very effective, make it very easy then to take your next walls and glue them on, and that's what I'm about to do. So I'll have all 4 walls glued together, and the house is coming together. But I just wanted to talk about those corner posts. All right, talk to you again soon. Okay, work is progressing on the Suydam house. Foundation is done for the little house, and right now the building is just sitting on top of it just for a test fit. The walls extend a little bit over the foundation as you would want it to do so that water would drip past the foundation. Right now the porch is not glued on, but it's notched for the door sill, and see that it's going to fit. You put a roof, not this roof, but you're going to put a roof down over the porch, and there'll be a wood support coming out to the outside of the roof and some railings. So that still has to be fabricated. The addition is fabricated here. Interestingly, the kit says no foundation for the addition, but if you were to glue this addition down at ground level, first of all, that would imply that inside the house there's some kind of steps going down there. I don't like it, so I'm going to put a foundation underneath. It's going on this other side of the structure anyway. So, yeah, I'll build a foundation and bring it up. If not the same height, almost the same height, probably the same height, as long as I can fit the porch roof on. They suggest using cardboard with sandpaper on top for the porch roof. I have this piece of styrene that I had made look like a metal roof, weathered with verdigris, and it's just about the right size, so I think I'll probably use that. It's been laying around in the scrap box, so we'll put that on. So foundation yet, that'll be that roof. Still got to do the steps and the porch railing and so forth, as I said. Let me get this off of here. And this is the roof material that they supplied. It's going to look like shake roofs, and they fit fairly well here. The other side coming up over here, and they meet nicely. And I'll paint those either brown or roof red, so we'll see. So it's progressing. Probably the next time you see this will be when everything is together, but I just wanted to kind of tell you where we are and what still has to be done. So, all right, I'll talk to you again soon, and hopefully you will see the completed little house. Okay, a real quick update. The roof is on, and I decided not to just go with the roofing material that they gave me. I used it as a subroof, and then I put on some laser cut shingles from real scale models, as I did on my last little house build. These houses are going to be sitting somewhat next to each other, so I thought it would be good to have the roofs look somewhat the same. I put the addition on. I could not put a full-size foundation because it would have interfered with this roof line. I think I am going to go with this raised rib metal roof. I did put a little piece of wood underneath and painted the sides of it to look like concrete, so it looks like it's on a slab, so not directly on the ground. So that'll fit in there fine. I think this roof will work without any trimming. And so what's left to do? Well, I still have to put a smoke jack on. The two smoke jacks that they gave me were designed for basically a flat roof. I had some that were made to go on a slant roof. I think you can see that against the roof there. And so I had to just sand a little bit to get the angle correct, and I have it painted black, and I will be installing that on the main roof. I might be able to use one of these on the addition if I wish to put a smoke jack on the addition. Couple of little things I had to address. And again, this kit has been laying around for many, many years. The decking sheet had either shrunk a bit or was always cut a little bit too short, and so I had to add a piece on this end. It turns out that it was a 1/16 of an inch, I believe, thickness, and I had some 16 by 16, 16th by 16th strip wood, painted that the same color, and now the decking goes all the way across. The other thing that they did not provide was any kind of corner trim for the addition, and so I just took some 1 by, I guess it's either 1 by 6 or 1 by 8 that I had in my scrap box, painted it the same color as the trim and added that. So yeah, we're coming down now to finishing touches. I showed you the smoke jack. This is the assembly for holding up the, it's like the front post to hold up the front of the roof on the porch with a little railing piece on there. So that's being, it's glued, it's just being dried. I have to install that. Then I can put the roof on the porch, set of steps, and that's it. And put on the smoke jack, a little weathering, and we'll be done. So be back when it's finished. So the little house is done. And I got to tell you, as I was building this structure that was produced and packaged away in a kit when I was 15 years old, some 61 years ago, I really had to wonder how it would stack up compared to some of our more modern offerings. And I got to tell you that I think it stacks up quite well. So, here we are, cardstock walls, some basic strip wood. The only differences I did was the roof on the addition. I used a piece of styrene that I had on hand ready weathered to look like verdigris, and I put some laser cut shingles on the roof. But other than that, kind of built as designed. And here's that relatively new laser cut kit that I had just finished making that I put right next to it, and you can see again how they stack up with each other. So yeah, it was a lot of fun building this old-time kit, and I still have the makings for 2 more houses, one pretty much identical to this one and then a slightly bigger one that I will make somewhere down the road. But for now, it's back to work on the railroad. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It is a metric that really helps my channel. Takes you about 10 seconds and costs you nothing. So I'll talk to you again soon. Happy modeling.